Greetings, people of Earth. I hope you're all awesome. I am all over the place. I've been in deep contemplation for many, many days. And I've been attempting to make videos, as I had no problem with, before going away to Stonehenge. Before being reunited with some Moldavite. And yeah, trying to be that guy that I was before I went away it's not happening. You know, I can't make these videos anymore. It's just it's not the same. Something's changing inside me. I had a few working titles to this video. I'm not sure what it's going to be called, but one was Illusions and Conclusions, or the Illusion of Conclusion, and one was Synchronicity and Publicity. And there is really no conclusion when you are wading in the arena of conspiracy. You know, it is an illness without a cure, just like all illnesses are. You know, the constant reiteration of the conundrum, you know, doesn't really serve me. You know, I have to almost ignore most of what I'm hearing in order to get a kernel of truth, you know, and that's because when it comes to the internet, all the truth is always buried in a barrel of bullshit, and you shouldn't have to work that hard for the truth. And I really do feel like I'm giving away far too much energy when I'm cyber scrying, you know, when I'm on the internet. And I've known this for a long time. You know, I've always been very wary of computers and that interaction that we have with them, and TVs and any kind of device that's got a liquid crystal display. You know, and crystals are incredibly powerful things. Nothing, well, very few things would work without them. So when it comes to me going away and getting some crystals or tactites, it was almost like I had to suspend my belief for a little while. And that's a healthy thing to do. I'm getting interruptions now. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I'm in the middle of making a video. You wouldn't believe how many times that has happened, and how many times it does happen. I'm done with it. You know, the little distractions, the reactions that it kind of gets from me, the craziness that goes on to kind of muffle out whatever it is that I'm trying to say, to try and pull me off of path. It's happening right now. It's just a self-fulfilling prophecy when you start to believe that you're a targeted individual and you're being censored, you know, and whatever, you know, the all that does for me is give me affirmation of my truth. You know, it gives me affirmation that kind of what I've learned through oral tradition is indeed the way things are. But when it comes to sharing that truth that I've heard, it can't be written down. It can't be recorded in a video. It can't be put onto an audio tape. Or if you are able to do that, there's serious repercussions for that. And that's one of the massive lessons that I've learned from trying to share what's been shared with me. I've kind of learned the hard way, as it were, because many of the messages were for me, you know, and they were personal. And when it comes to sharing that, you know, the synchronicities and things like that, it almost takes some of the magic out of it. It almost it's almost like you're looking for a confirmation, like an affirmation that what you experienced was indeed out of the ordinary. And when I've tried to do that, you know, through these videos, it never comes out. All that stuff ends up on the cutting room floor. Something comes along to distract me, and when I've got that, and it is indeed like I've got a ball of potential energy, and I want to share it, you know, and when I try to do it through this medium of the internet, something will come along and grab that energy, or take that focus, and because I've got that momentum built up, it all comes out and it's just wasted. And yeah, that's the way it is. So when it comes to seeing other people that are a bit further down the line with YouTube, and they have a bigger subscriber base, and they've started to kind of become a parody of themselves, you know, I find that uneasy. It's like seeing where I could be going, and I don't want to be there. I don't want to be doing live streams and videos every other day. You know, it just it seems exhausting. You know, it really does. It feels like a loosh farm, and I think it is. You know, I really, deep down, I think that this whole interaction that we have is taking more than it's giving. So, today, my big synchronicity, and it came through a guy called Spirit Walker. Hello, Spirit Walker. And he was talking about someone called Adam Warlock, who is, or was, the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy, the original leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy, but he's a Marvel comic book hero. And I've never heard of the guy. I was never really a big comic book fan. I've only recently attempted to watch the movie, and I had a very, very spooky experience with that movie. And yeah, I'll share that right now. It was on TV a few weeks ago, and I sat down to watch the movie, and I saw the intro where he comes in and he turns on his Walkman and he does his dancing thing, and then he lifts up his visor, and I remember it being Michael Fassbender. And I even remember seeing his name come up at the beginning of the movie. Now, I could have been imagining this, but it was eerie. It was really spooky. After the intro to the movie, I kind of zoned out. I fell asleep that day. Didn't really catch much more of the movie. But I remember it being Michael Fassbender, or I mistakenly remember it being Michael Fassbender. But when the movie was repeated a week later on TV, I said to my dad, "Oh, this movie's on. Why not watch Guardians of the Galaxy?" And he said, "What's it about?" And I said, I can't really remember. I stuck it on the other week, but it's got Michael Fassbender in it. He's a cool actor. And Dad sat down to watch it, and I started watching it in another room, and I was waiting for Michael Fassbender's name to come up, and it didn't. And then the way the guy's dancing didn't seem the same. And then when he lifts his visor up or takes his helmet off, it was Chris Pratt, you know, the dude that has always been in it. But it really tripped me out. And so that little synchronicity today, that kind of with Adam Warlock, that link back to Guardians of the Galaxy, and now Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is actually in the cinema at the moment, and I know I've got to go and see that movie. I know I've got to watch this other movie. That'd be crazy if it is Fassbender back in it. If you want to see a good movie with him in it, watch Frank. Phenomenal film. But yeah, this guy today, this video that I listened to, there were so many synchronicities. So there was all the Adam Warlock stuff with the green crystal, the infinity gem, and the story of how there are 6 gems and sometimes there are 7 gems, and if they're all brought together, they give ultimate power. I'm only just really kind of becoming crystal savvy, you know, or experiencing crystals. But one of the things I'm going to do is make a crown, and you should try this as well. I didn't actually buy this copper with the intention of making a crown. I've got a hot tub I'm building, but while I've got that metal, I'm going to make a crown, and I'm going to put different crystals on that crown, and yeah, do a bit of experimenting, because I believe that's what crowns are. They're like cosmic telephones. That's what the ball and the scepter is, and that's why it's all precious metals, and the different jewels are for, they're like different telephone numbers or different kind of email addresses for other dimensions, maybe. But the reason I'm doing that is because somebody said to me, why don't you start wearing a tinfoil hat? And if you're going to do anything with tinfoil, you should wrap your feet in tinfoil. It's good to put some bentonite clay on your feet and then wrap them in tinfoil and leave them for a couple of hours and see the results. Yeah, but for your head, make a crown, you know. Mine's only going to be made out of copper, but I think that's going to work, you know. That's crazy to say, but I really do feel a lot of truth with the with that theory that crowns and the ball and the scepter is, in essence, a cosmic telephone, because they have to serve some other purpose other than just being ostentatious, you know, and showy. You know, why on earth would you wear such a heavy thing unless it had some sort of purpose? And these things have to have some sort of practical purpose. And I'm going to mount my moldavite in the front, you know, so I've got my first stone, so when I get the other 6 or 7 or 5 or 6, yeah, who knows what will happen then. But before this runs too long, I've done weird rambling, so I'm going to start making some conclusions, even though that's an illusion. I'm going to stop making so many videos. I'm going to stop spending so much time cyber scrying and around these sort of crystals and start spending more time with these sort of crystals. And that feels right. That feels healthy, you know, and I'm going to make things, you know, even if it is crowns and things like that. I want to make things, I want to build things, I want to release this creative energy in a healthy way. And if indeed I do have some truth to tell, I need to kind of wrap it in art or poetry and veil it, because whenever I've heard real truth, you know, I've had to kind of decode it in some sort of way, or it's had to be I forget who said poetry is having the ability to say what can't be said. And I've learned, I feel like I've got this frustration that the truth is always on the tip of my tongue, but being able to say it in such a way that it won't be censored is the real art, you know. And many great artists have come before me, but when it comes to my form of art, I know that it has to be something that's not like this. You know, everybody's making videos now, you know, and everybody's trying to convey this truth that's there for all to see. But yeah, the illusion of conclusion, you know, leaving the circus. When I look on the internet, I also see. Oh yeah, that was what I was going to say. Sorry, I'll come off on a tangent because I'm not into doing this anymore. The Adam Warlock thing, the way that this Spirit Walker guy talked about his character and how he evolves. You should seriously check out that video. It talks about time loops, and I forget what else it was talking about. But the evolution of this character, Adam Warlock, he meets his future self. And I've had that experience happen so many times to me. And they don't look like me, these people I meet, but they're potential future me's. And this happened when I was away in Stonehenge. And I met the guy looked like a thug, he looked like a football hooligan. But he was a Reiki master, and he'd been studying Buddhism for like 35 years. He had a big suitcase, what he called his toolkit, with incense and singing bowls and crystals and meditation CDs and books and chakra beads and all that stuff, you know. And I've got most of this stuff, and I used to have a toolkit, you know. I used to have a thing with my different kind of pills and potions and all that, you know. But this guy was like a parody of myself. And I'm not sure how true a lot of the stuff he said about kind of his studies were, or his qualifications. But the way he was trying to give me all this stuff. He wanted to give me all these books, or all this stuff that he'd... it was over 2,000 pages that he had in files, and it was the true history of every civilization that had ever been on the planet. It was the whole history and stuff. And he said, if you want it, you just download it. I can put it onto a memory stick. I can email it across to you. There it is. It's the whole story, the whole shebang. And I didn't want it. I'd heard all that before, or I've had as much knowledge as I need, you know, that I don't really need to keep searching. And that's the real message that I got. And the message that I was able to give to him was all that stuff, you know, it's kind of pointless. It's that's all a distraction, you know, needing the toolkit, needing protection, needing things to relax, needing things to just be, you know. It's all just an outfit, you know. And yeah, so when I walked away from that, that was indeed like meeting myself or a potential future me. And it's yeah, making me kind of get naked, you know. It's making me want to kind of strip away all this bullshit that I've kind of put around myself, or tried to make my identity. And yeah, ego death maybe, I don't know. It's certainly a deconstruction. But the story about Adam Warlock meeting his future self, or who he could potentially become, that message just kind of really struck a chord with me. And my name's Adam as well, you know. And Ra and the Law of One, and David Wilcock. I had so many synchronicities around David Wilcock when I used to listen to his stuff or entertain his ideas. You know, Edgar Casey, I got a real kind of affinity with that and a lot of that stuff, and I started smoking a pipe. Weird stuff went on, and it was like Casey had come to me. And David Wilcock, I heard, fractured his toe on the 21st of December 2012, and I did the same thing. And when I heard that, that was a bit too much. I just stopped listening to him, and I moved on from that. And I've had many other teachers since, or many other, yeah, I don't know, channels, messengers, you know, since. And when I kind of hear what David Wilcock's talking about, or the stuff he's going on about now, it seems insane. It seems just kind of so far removed from what I believed I was kind of entertaining at one time. But yeah, being kind of pulled back to that today by this video, yeah, it kind of it was like coming face to face with myself from the past again, you know, and kind of debunking myself. But I just want to be me. I'm done with meeting these former selves and future selves. I just want to be me now, you know. And I've seen the infinite. I've experienced quantumness, you know. Now I just want to kind of experience stillness for a bit, you know, and deconstruct, get rid of what's not important, and concentrate on what is, you know. And I know that reality isn't fixed, it isn't solid, it isn't definite, it isn't what's the word I was looking for? There's a word I come up with earlier. Nope, I've got rid of that word. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for today because that's run on a bit longer. But this is probably going to be it for a bit, you know. But I love you guys loads. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for all the thumbs. Thanks for all the support. I will be dropping in from time to time, but I'm changing, you know. And I just wanted to kind of convey that, you know, that whole thing about kind of synchronicity and publicity, kind of sharing these miraculous experiences with potentially kind of hundreds, thousands, millions of people. It kind of yeah, like I say, it doesn't seem appropriate to me. But there we go. That's just my thoughts, feelings and philosophies. I'm sure you've got your own. But you take care, have a nice day, have a nice week, have a nice infinity, and keep being you.